Bakari Sellers, man, we are happy to have you. So the Supreme Court says that colleges and universities can no longer take race into consideration as a specific basis for granting admission, a landmark decision overturning longstanding precedent that has benefited Black and Latino students in higher education. Bakari, man, thank you for coming on this morning. Let everybody know how this decision is going to affect everybody, like what's going on with the Supreme Court.
Well, let me just say, Ricky, first, thanks for having me, as always. Shout out to everybody over there in the studio. It's a sad day. I mean, I think that most people realize it's a sad day for this country. Every step we take forward, it feels like we take two steps back. And yesterday was just like many other days with the Supreme Court, where they happen to take away, clearly established rights from us all. Many people understand that affirmative action has benefited, and this is going to kind of shock the conscience, but affirmative action really has benefited white women more than anybody else. Throughout its history, that has been the number one group to benefit from affirmative action being established. But what you're going to see now is a lot of these elite institutions, your Ivy League schools, your Georgetowns, even some of your state schools like University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, etc., they're going to become whiter and more Asian, and they're going to have less Hispanics and less Black students. And it's worth noting, though, the plaintiffs in this affirmative action case were Asian students, and it was weird how organizations went out and wanted to pit minorities against each other. But Clarence Thomas got appointed to do this. He's been there 30 years. This is all he's ever wanted to do, was get rid of affirmative action, and he did it. He was successful.
Wow. Bakari, let me ask you, shouldn't folks start protesting some of these universities if they're not fair with admission, because they always want to recruit Black athletes to go and win national championships for these mainstream universities? And what kind of power do we have? What can we do?
I mean, that ship's kind of sailed. And the universities, to be honest with you, the universities are the ones who actually value diversity. They know how valuable it is to have Black and brown faces on their campus, and they want to do everything they can usually to let them in. But they've been handicapped. I mean, the fact remains that elections have consequences. And in 2016, Donald Trump became president of the United States.
Come on now.
And he put 3 of his justices on the Supreme Court. There are a couple of things that happened. Donald Trump beat Hillary Clinton because we had this belief that there were, to be that bad, and we're seeing the results of that. That's one. And two, Ruth Bader Ginsburg didn't retire. She was old, and she should have retired when Barack Obama was president, and she didn't. She took the gamble that Hillary Clinton was going to be president of the United States, and we lost that gamble, so Barack Obama didn't get that seat. I mean, if Ruth Bader Ginsburg retired in January of 2013, at the beginning of Barack Obama's second term, then you have a totally different court. Now we have a court with Clarence Thomas as king, and respectfully, I love a lot of Black people, most Black people, but Clarence Thomas ain't one person I want to govern my life.
You said exactly what I've been saying for years. Folks didn't go out and vote in 2016, and Donald Trump got 3 picks. Three picks.
That's right.
And,
elections from city council on up have consequences. People want to act like they don't, but they do, and we're seeing that right now.
Yeah. So now he just set us back. 50 years? 50 years of affirmative action.
At least 50 years. But, it's surreal, because I think that right now HBCUs should benefit from this. Hopefully that they're prepared. Hopefully our HBCUs are prepared to take on more students, to recruit more Black students, to be suited to take on what it means to have, a few thousand more Black students. And it's just going to be harder for Black students to get into these elite institutions.
There it is, man. Hey, man, thank you so much, man, and for breaking all of this stuff down for us, Bakari. Let everybody know how they can follow you and how they can reach you.
Well, I don't want nobody to follow me or reach me for the next 4 or 5 days. I'm on my way to the Bahamas, but I'll talk to y'all when y'all call me next week.
All right, man. We love you, man. Bakari, thank you for joining us, man. Hey, y'all give it up for Bakari Sellers. All right, more of the Smiley Morning Show coming up.